What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls Podcast. Coming to you live from our downtown studios here, West Loop of Chicago. I am Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Joined by my pal and producer, Joey Spathis. People call him Joey Bordeaux. And sitting with me today, you know him for his great work with the On Tap Sports Net. Of course, including the Bulls On Tap podcast. Also head of content at On Tap Sportsnet.
I got a lot of titles.
The creator, essentially, of On Tap Sportsnet. Not to mention a diehard, and I say diehard, I mean it, lifelong Bulls fan, is Buzz Squires, a.k.a. Buzz On Tap!
Dude, I'm cracking the beer.
Crack 'em, baby.
Crack 'em. I'm here
This is what we do when we hang out with Buzz. We crack 'em.
We're gonna talk some Bulls. I'm down, dude. Thanks for inviting me here. I'm ready to talk about Bulls basketball because I'm so over about talking about White Sox baseball.
I mean, yes. We've been catching up for a half hour, but for the listeners and viewers out there,
yes,
let's do this part of the conversation. Sure. Pretensies. How you been?
I've been good. I've been good. I'm going to pretend we haven't been together for the last hour. I've been good, just doing the day job type stuff, doing stuff for On Tap, coming off this horrible baseball season and a tumultuous start to the Bears season.
Yep.
But, I'm open-minded to what we're going to see with the Bulls.
Times are tough, and it's funny, I've been seeing a few of your tweets recently after various Bulls or after various Bears and White Sox games, and I'm like, I just got to check on Buzz's mental health because it's rough. For White Sox fans who now have to also endure this start to the Bears season, I can't even fathom. It's weird that one of the least, terrifying things we're doing as Chicago sports fans for our mental health right now is just September pre-training camp Bulls talk.
It's horrible. Yeah, so it's pretty bad. It's bad across the board. And I'm looking forward to Bulls season because I love the NBA. That's my jam.
Yeah.
I think that's how we bonded in the past is
of
the
course.
NBA is our jams, but I am excited though, skeptical. I can't wait for the Bulls basketball to be back. And I know some takes have been a little weird lately, but
yeah,
they're breaking me down a little bit, Peck. They're breaking me down.
Mid-September, knowing what we have with this Bulls team from last season coming into this one, I think excited and skeptical is the correct approach.
Yeah.
We're excited for Bulls basketball to be back. Right. We don't know if we're going to get much better than we got last year.
I would assume not. I think, when you go into a season asking who your starting point guard is going to be, it's probably going to tell you right there and then that we're not going to have a great time that's going to give us the answers we want right away either.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of growing pains. But nonetheless, basketball is basketball. We have some exciting players on the squad.
We do.
And hopefully, it'll be better than a play-in.
Yeah. Shout out to Parr Jr. in the Sports IC saying, let's go Bulls. At least we aren't the other teams. That makes me think about that YouTube video that got really famous about the city of Cleveland years ago, remember?
I know exactly
At least
what you're
we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit.
Detroit sucks.
Detroit does suck. Yeah, it does. But, if the Lions have themselves a good year, happy for them.
Pac,
yeah.
Detroit is for sure above your rankings than Cleveland is.
As far as
it's
what?
higher. And cities you would rather vacation in.
Cities I would, because of my solidarity with Joakim, yes, I just by law have to hate the city of Cleveland.
Okay.
Cleveland is last.
Also, to hell with LeBron, now and forever.
Okay. LeBron doesn't bother me, dude.
He bothers me less now that he's a Laker.
Me too. That's why. But when he was with the Cavs and the Heat, I did not like him.
Yeah.
So I've changed. No, I've changed up my stance on that. He's
definitely not. And those of us who know that we don't have to worry about the whole GOAT conversation anymore. It's over.
No, yeah, it's over.
It was over a while ago.
Yeah.
We'll get to some Bulls thoughts for the day. We will touch on the latest stuff with Damian Lillard. There were more rumors, speculation, even a report here or there going around between last night and this morning from various NBA heads. And Chicago Bulls is a phrase that keeps coming up for some reason. So we will touch on that. We'll also talk about Buzz's expectations for the Bulls this upcoming season. But first, being a guest of ours, you've already done CHGO White Sox.
I have.
Early in the day of CHGO. This is your first time with us at CHGO Bulls.
Yep.
Whenever we have people in that are fellow Bulls content creators, members of the Bulls fan community, we like to get some of the backstory. So I know a good amount of your backstory because we've known each other for years and we've had a lot of good talks over the years. But for anybody out there listening, your Chicago sports fandom is true blue, red in the case of the Bulls. it goes back a long way. You've told me stories about you and your dad going to Bulls games, Bears games, way back in the day when you were just a little kid.
Yeah, so that was like the biggest thing. So like, I'm very open about all this. Like the biggest thing for me is I was a single parent home, and it was just my dad. It was my dad and I. We lived in Blue Island, and I love telling the story because it just brings me back to when I was a kid. I'm 32 now, so I feel like I'm getting up there, so I have to reminisce a little bit. But back in the day, we lived in a trailer in Blue Island off 138th and Western, and we didn't have air conditioning. But you know what we had, Peck? We had Bulls season tickets and we had Bears season tickets. That's what we had.
Priorities.
Y'all. I didn't go on vacation. I've never been to California. I didn't see anything, but I went to games. I got to see Jordan when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Which was really great. The Bears have sucked the whole time.
Yep.
So
2006 was fun.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. Flash in the pan. But yeah, so that my sports fandom just really came from my dad. He's a big Sox fan. He's a huge Bulls and Bears fan. So like that's where this all came from. So as I got older, we moved out to the Southwest burbs, met friends that had similar interests, and they kind of built from there. So then it became like a legendary thing. Like we all call Big Brad, my dad, the legend. So like I took over the Bears tickets. I took over Bulls tickets. Like I'm doing it all just like he was doing. So that's like where my sports fandom came in, was a lot because of him. So
yeah.
And then I think the team that pulled me in the most with the Bulls, I know you're gonna laugh at me, but it's 2004.
Yeah, Baby Bulls?
Yeah, because I was, dude, I was in high school yet. I got into high school in 05, but like Jordan, I was young. I was little. When they won in 98, I was 7. So 2004, you get BG, you get Luol Deng, you already have the captain. Well, many call the captain the GOAT. Many do, not just me. It's just me. It is. But that's where my Bulls fandom came in, dude.
So all these years spanning from childhood to now adulthood, being the one who takes over the family season tickets and all that. Just give me a couple, whether it's Bulls, Bears, favorite games where you can say proudly to your fellow Chicago sports fans, I was there.
All right, so Bears 2006 NFC Championship against the Saints. That gives you something to be proud of.
Damn
that gives
right.
you some, and again, I'm not trying to hate on them. I love the Bears guys. I still hold the season tickets to this day. I just don't enjoy their product. I still watch it because
it's a tougher product to enjoy.
Right. As far as Bulls go, Game 1, 2010-2011 Eastern Conference Finals. That's when Taj dunked on D Wade.
The Taj dunk on Wade.
Taj dunk on Wade.
And then that putback dunk.
Yes.
Off the miss. Just destroy. You and I were both in the Madhouse that night.
Yes.
We did not know each other back in 2011, but we were both in the Madhouse that night.
It was amazing. That game's that is like one of the loudest times I've ever heard the United Center. I don't know if you'd agree with that.
Oh yeah.
But for me,
it was nuts.
It was insane.
It reminded me of going to games in the second three-peat in that building when I was a kid.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going deaf because of all of this noise right now, but the hair stands on the back of your neck. You feel like something so much bigger than yourself. And like the electricity. People toss the word electricity out when they're describing sports arenas and events.
Oh yeah.
It was electric, and it felt like that in that Game 1 against the Heat in 2011.
It really did, dude. The second game in the Bulls, and I know you watched it for sure. But that was what was that game? Was it Game 2 of 2009? Remember when BG and Derrick Rose went off against the Celtics?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember what game it was in the back of my head, but I was there.
The 09 series
Yes,
that had 6 overtimes.
What many call the greatest series in NBA playoff history.
Yeah. Damn you, Ray Allen. Still salty about that.
I don't like him. I respect him, but I don't like him.
So you've taken this lifelong passion of yours as a Chicago sports fan, and like many of us, turned that into being a content creator for your fellow Chicago sports fans. And you have a 9-to-5. You're a family man raising 3 kids with your wife, and you have built this thing, the On Tap Sportsnet. You're writing, you're making podcasts, you do Bulls and White Sox. You've built a team of people with you who you like making content with. What was that inspiration to say, I don't want to just be a Chicago sports fan who's passionate. I want to be a part of the conversation and provide my fellow fans with that content knowing that I already have a fuck ton on my plate.
Yeah, at the time of its conception, I think it was more so of an idea of just to prove that we belong with our opinions. And that comes from like a lot of people that you would talk to. And no one that I know within the Chicago media that I get along with right now has ever big leagued or been like that. Everybody's always really cool.
Yeah.
But I always thought it'd be kind of cool, and it was different at the time when we were starting to do all this, was to give the tailgater perspective. Like the guys that are going out there, like they're literally at all these games, but present it in a way where it's easy to digest, but it's also fun to digest.
Yeah.
So like I got together with Tony and Johnny. They were the ones that approached me to do this, and I hopped on with them, and we decided to launch On Tap Sportsnet in, I believe, March or April of 2019. And we've had a real great time with it. We've been blessed on many different, adventures. Like we've gotten to partner with SI. We've gotten to host tailgates. We've gotten to do live shows, like where we were sought out. So, I mean, that's why we did it, is just like, to show that there's like a different side. It doesn't have to be professional all the time. You can like kind of look like me, a tattooed, bearded, backwards hat wearing guy, and make some cool content. And if it turns into something, it turns into something.
Yeah.
If it's just something like I get to do and hang out with my friends and chop it up,
yeah,
that's awesome too. Like I've got no problem. It has gotten harder though with the 3 kids.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I mean,
I'll tell you that, dude.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting your better half, but she must be the coolest wife / co-parenter in the universe.
Oh man.
Because when I see, tweets from Buzz on either a weeknight or a weekend during the day, and you're in the Buzz cave.
Oh yeah.
It's like, clearly I'm guessing that's because you've put in your hours as a co-parent throughout the week. And she lets you do that. Whereas, like, for every other person in a committed relationship where they're a crazy, insane sports fan and the person they're with is not, it's a battle. It's an argument every weekend. Are you going to let me watch football, or are you going to not? Are you going to let me watch the Bulls game tonight, or are you going to not?
She has always been super good about that, but that's because she has an understanding of it. So my wife, her name is Jamie, she is actually like 70K plus following on Instagram.
No shit.
She was like making her living from that.
She's an Insta influencer.
Yeah,
is that what they call them these days?
She's a baller. That's all I know. 'Cause I tell you what, we have a new couch once a month. We got all this cool stuff all the time. She's, so she understands that grind.
Yeah.
So she's always been like, well, no matter what I set my mind, she's always very supportive of it. And with the kids, like when I'm in the Buzz Cave, I got 3 TVs down there.
Yeah.
Deliberately, I usually don't show one of them because Bluey is on. Maybe it's Frozen, but the other two big TVs are on, and then I have my computer monitors on. Mm-hmm. So I got games everywhere except that one TV. So I usually have them down there.
Good for you.
Yeah,
like truly.
I try, man.
I was just spending the Labor Day holiday with my sister and brother-in-law, and they're pretty big sports fans. My brother-in-law, insane sports fan. Sadly, part of that is being an Astros fan. He's not a Longhorn fan, Joe. He went to Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner.
I'm aware. That's why I had the horns.
Yeah, okay. But there's, they battle that parent battle these days that all parents have as far as like screen time with the little ones, toddlers, 3, 4, 5-year-olds, how much screen time is okay. And my brother-in-law is always like, well, if it means I can watch the Sooners game, the Astros game, the Bears game in peace, then let them watch.
See, that's grade A parenting.
Yeah.
So that's grade A parenting because listen, if I'm not gonna be a hypocrite.
Right.
I'm watching the screen right now too.
Just like the grade A parenting of your dad saying, "Hey, we've got season tickets.
Yeah, we don't need air
We
conditioning.
don't take vacations and we don't need air conditioning, but we have season tickets."
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Parenting. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back and dive into the Dame Lillard trade request carousel because it's still spinning. While we're sharing these words from our friends and sponsors, do us a simple favor, hit that thumbs up button if you're watching along on YouTube, and if you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel so you get alerts every time we go live. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Ray Chevy. Are you in the market for a newer used vehicle? If you are, we've got great news because Ray Chevy in Fox Lake has just joined our CHGO team. We were talking with the team at Ray, and they have this pledge called the Ray Price Promise, a guarantee that the price you see online on their website is the exact same price you'll pay when you go into the dealership. A lot of cases you'll find that the price that you see online is raised suddenly and unexpectedly when you go into the dealership to negotiate face-to-face because they'll ask you things like, Are you a military member? Are you a farmer? Are you a recent college graduate? For me, those answers would be no, and sadly, definitely not. So, you're going to charge me more for that car than the price I saw? Not at Ray's. The price you see online is the price you pay with no add-ons to the price ever. In fact, Ray will even do everything possible to find additional savings for you, which make the price lower than the one you see online. That's the only price change you'll see, a drop, not an increase. As one of the top selling dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and save big at Ray Chevy because they now have over 100 Chevy Trax models available starting at just $21,495. That is a steal! Right now, through September 30th, all buyers can qualify for 0% financing, make 0 payments until 2024, plus put no money down. And best of all, pay 0 hidden fees with the Ray Price Promise. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. Serving the community since 1963, find new roads.
Yep. And Matt, I'm excited here to tell you about
Joey ad reads.
Place that stepping up here. Place that means a lot to me.
I love it.
Near and dear to my heart. I know Corey Friedman's as well. But I want to talk about Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. And Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside is everything you need to elevate your football season, and we are in need of some elevation for the football season. No matter where you are on your cannabis journey, easy online ordering, in-store pickup, and a great transparent loyalty program, the Sunnyside Rewards program that will get you right. It's Illinois' favorite dispensary. I love the Wrigleyville location. Sunnyside, they've got some great brands. They've got Mindy's best tasting chocolate and gummy edibles created by James Beard, award-winning chef Mindy Siegel and Cresco Labs. Also, they got Cresco. They've got High Supply. They've got Florical, very good. Big fan. So through October 15th, head into Sunnyside or use sunnyside.shop. Use promo code CHGO25 at checkout for 25% off your total order. One use per customer. That is not stackable with other promotions. That is for new customers, but anybody can use that code. Not for new customers. Anybody can use the code. Sorry. First timer here. Pick up everything you need to elevate your football season. You must be 21 plus or an Illinois medical card holder. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary.
You know what, Joe? I'm going to give you some for that.
Thank you.
It's not easy, man.
I threw another task in your Joey multitask life today with Will and Big Dave being out. I have even greater confidence in your next ad read, but I thought that one was pretty solid.
Thank you.
Also, when are you and I finally going to burn one together? That's the more important question. Shout out Sunnyside. Not in the office, obviously.
Not in the office.
We work hard while we're here.
Yes.
We just
soon,
drink
though.
beer.
Soon. Very soon.
Very soon.
We will confer after the show.
You know what I'm not convinced is going to happen very soon still, but we're going to talk about it because people are talking about it. Damian Lillard getting traded to the Bulls. I'm sorry.
Segway pack.
I don't buy it, and that's right. There's a Segway pack for you. So this kind of happened while Will and I were doing our show yesterday. Our colleague over there at PHLY, Kyle Neubeck, was chatting on PHLY Sixers, saying that he has heard rumblings that other people have heard, that Will and I have heard. Somehow the Bulls have entered this Damian Lillard conversation over the last week or so as the Blazers make one last gasp attempt to give Dame the trade request he's been asking for all summer before training camp starts. And that the Heat's offer has not been good enough, still isn't good enough. Other teams are calling the Blazers. So that happened yesterday. Then on the Twitter sphere this morning, I saw this from Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian, who was on the Blazer Focus podcast, Joey, if you will. They're talking to other teams in terms of trying to find another team who might give them an offer for Lillard. Other teams who might get involved that have nothing to do with Miami. Maybe Lillard goes to one of those teams that's out there. I'm told there's not great traction in these areas, that they're really not being wowed by anything that's substantial. So that was a Blazers reporter for the Oregonian that hit the internet today. The whole concept of what could wow the Blazers in an offer for Dame, Buzz, is I think still the crux of this entire conversation, and whether or not the Bulls can put together an offer that they would see as better than whatever the Heat have been offering and worth making a trade, because they can still just decide, you know what, we don't have to trade Dame if we don't like what we're getting back. What do you think about this?
There's no way. The Bulls do not have anything and that will entice them. Zach LaVine is the best player on the team. Would everybody agree with that in this room?
Yeah.
Okay, Zach.
And that's the piece that people have once again brought into these conversations.
Right. So,
and whether it's a Dame Lillard trade rumor or anything else, Zach LaVine's name always pops up.
Right. So if you put Dame with DeMar, we're almost experiencing the same thing. Maybe not as good as playmaking as Dame will bring you with Zach, but that volume scoring, and that's what you're looking for, right? Okay, so that's great. So you're going to have pretty much the same situation. The Blazers are going to have the same situation. The Bulls don't have picks. They have a protected. They have Portland's pick, but that's protected. Mm-hmm. They're giving their pick, top 10 protected, to San Antonio in 2025.
Yep.
And then they don't have anything in 26 and 27. They don't have a first-round pick.
No, 27 they do.
Where?
Their own.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I think the first rounder they owe the Spurs for the DeMar sign-in trade is the last first-round pick that they still owe.
Okay.
Now that the Vooch trade is done.
I thought they didn't have one.
So theoretically, the Bulls could dangle 27 and 29 because of the Stepien rule. But, like, to get Dame swapped for also giving up Zach LaVine, and how does that raise the Bulls ceiling, in your opinion?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Not even raises their ceiling from a team that might make the playoffs and lose in the first round to a team that could see Eastern Conference semis.
Yeah, you might be 10 going into 9 or 9 going into 8. Like, I mean, seriously, we made the play-in last year.
Just barely.
Even if you kept Zach and paired him with Dame, I'm like, it's so similar in play style and everything to those Dame and CJ teams for so long that capped out at the Western Conference Finals, and I think got swept when they got there. Like, I don't know with either of those co-stars. I'm just not really sure it makes a ton of sense as a pairing. It's a lot of offense, but you're undersized. You can't really defend in the backcourt. And where are the other contributions coming from? I mean, all of a sudden you have a big two, kind of, and then who else?
You can't deny that Damian Lillard and Zach LaVine would become one of the most electric offensive backcourts in the entire NBA.
If they're together.
Yeah, if they're together.
So that's the big thing here, because
that's the only enticing part to me.
That's what I'm saying. So like you have Patrick Williams, you have Kobe White, you have DeMar DeRozan, and you're not getting rid of Vooch. That's not happening. Vooch is staying here. So with that being said, you give the minimal picks that you can, mortgage even more of your future for a 31-year-old disgruntled superstar.
Yeah.
While possibly losing the player that you have now. I'm not saying Zach LaVine's going to bring you to the promised land. I'm not saying he's a better player than Damian Lillard. You ask where the Bulls are going. They're going to go to the same spot with Dame. That's what's going to happen. Those two would have to be together, and that team needs to be reworked.
Yeah.
But they're not in a position to rework it. There's not enough assets there.
And Jason's saying, like, I can't believe I'm hearing you guys say that adding a 75th anniversary. I think he's right.
The team would get better. Want to see this happen.
They would get better.
A non-zero number.
I think they would get better. I mean, I think you are in a lot of games now where you're saying we definitively have the best player on the court here. You get that a lot of times with Damian Lillard. I'm just not sure.
You're saying if they swap out Zach and
either
swap
way,
in
no
Dame,
matter who, if they bring
better?
back Damian Lillard, I think they go up. I think they have a legitimate top-tier superstar then, at least as their one guy. So I think that they are punching a little bit, but I'm not sure. I don't think that they're a top 5 seed in the East. I think that maybe they're not, maybe they're not bottom, maybe they're not 8, 9, 10.
So are they? So they'd be
7?
6 then.
Yeah,
so
I don't.
Be 6, but
I don't think they're right. I think they're still playing or just right at the bottom of the, the playoff seeding.
Yeah.
1 through 6, but. I think that it raises their floor a little bit, not exponentially. I don't think it's exponentially raising their ceiling.
I don't think that so when you say it and you put it that way, I do not think you're wrong. I think that he is a good player. I think he's one of the 75 best players that ever played in the NBA. I get what you're saying. So I guess it's subjective now. It's what's your goal? Is your goal to
Totally
see
agree.
somewhat good,
Yeah.
fun basketball? And I'm sorry, but you're going to.
100%.
I'm going to throw the quote out there. Dangle the carrot.
Right.
Is that what you want, or do you want to get a championship? And I don't know if AK and Mark Eversley are the ones that are going to bring us there. I don't know that, but I'll tell you what. Damian Lillard's a Band-Aid fix that puts asses in seats, and that's what's ridiculous about it, and that's why I won't entertain it. That's what it is. This team is not talented enough to win a championship, and that should be your goal.
So the one reason, the last thing I'd say to speak my piece on this is like, I 100% agree. Dame by himself with this current iteration of this roster is not. But if you can, anytime you can land a superstar like that, it matters in this league because you never know where the other moving pieces are coming from. Especially where my mind goes to like Giannis, who's been, and this is all so far down the line. It's all speculation, but that's a type of thinking where if you can get a guy like that, granted he's going to be 34, 35, but you never know who's going to want to come and play with a guy like that. And I do think. It is a superstar-driven league in a lot of ways. So, would I hate it if they did it? No, but I agree. By itself, that's not solving any, any long-term problems. And it definitely matters on, and depends on who you're giving up and what you're giving up to get him back.
Right, and I'm glad you clarified with that because, I just don't want to give if we do have 27 and 29, I don't want to give that up, dude. We don't have picks right now. We don't have anything. This is why they're in hell. I don't really know.
And the other factors of this that to me make it and this is why I said in the headline of today's show, is it even in the Bulls' best interest, if these trade talks are real, to give Zach out and bring Dame in? Maybe you can make the argument, and more than maybe you can make the argument that Dame, better player, more success in the NBA than Zach.
I agree.
He's also 4 years older.
Yes.
He's also due $212
I thought it was $212
million over the next 4 years of his contract after he signed that extension in Portland.
That's the age 35 season, if anybody wanted to know that.
Age 35, he's got a player option for basically $100 billion. And I'm sorry, and look, through the majority of Dame's career, he has been a healthy, there every night kind of player. I'm going to run down Dame's games played per season since his rookie year. 82, 82, 82. Damn impressive. 75, 75, 73, 80. All the way through 2018-19. This man, the fewest he ever played was 73. However, the last 4 seasons, 66, 67, 29, 58.
But
now look,
there was some tanking going on. There was some tanking going on.
The Blazers were secretly tanking at the back end of this past season, then yes, there is that factor. But you mentioned
they were starting people we had never heard of.
Sure. Yes.
All 5 of their players that we couldn't name one person.
Right. Yes. But, the league, well, we don't need to investigate that at all because we should just let that slide. But let's, take the Bulls' second-round pick for getting Lonzo.
Yeah, they won't get
quickly.
fined for that.
I'm not saying I'm necessarily worried about Dame's health as he enters the twilight post-30s, years of his career. But it's not a complete non-factor to me when those contractual numbers are attached to it.
That's where I'm at. I mean, I'm at it in a lot of different angles, but I also don't want to pay a point guard. I mean, Dame is great. Don't get me wrong, but you're getting older. Time is not on your side. It fails to nobody. And you're coming into a situation that's arguably going to be worse with the Bulls than it is with Portland right now. They have Anthony Simons.
Yeah.
They have Shaden Sharp.
Yeah.
They have some young...
They
have
just drafted
Henderson.
Scoot.
They have some young talent over there that's going to make some real noise. A couple of them could shoot, working on their shots this offseason. Been watching a lot of clips of Portland. I don't really know why, but because I don't really
because it's September and we're bored.
Right, that's basically it. But I mean, they have some young talent over there. That was my biggest thing. Is if we were going to do anything with Portland, I'd send. I'm telling you, I'm totally full rebuild mode and let this team do it the right way because I felt like Acme came in to make a point right away and they made some splashes that we are not accustomed to.
Yeah.
That Nikola Vucevic trade had to blow you away.
I mean, at the time, I was excited because you know what it was? It was our front office doing something bold.
Right.
As opposed to Gar and Pack sitting on their asses with their thumbs upset asses.
And doing nothing.
Forever.
Right.
I have a question. Yeah. So, Buzz, you just said you're full rebuild. That's my thing. I want to see them do it the right way, which is what I thought they should have done instead of trading for Vooch. That, go to the bottom. That you want to be good in the NBA, you go all the way to the bottom, and you hope that the ping pong balls fall your way. I understand we've done that before without success, but, you play the game enough times, ideally you end up with something that you can build your franchise around. So let me ask you a question, Peck. Mm-hmm. Because I agree, I would love to do that, but it doesn't seem like there's any interest in doing that with this front office right now. So would you rather them trade for Damian Lillard and put all their eggs into sort of, extending this timeline? Let's go after some vet minimums. Let's go after another big superstar and clear up some cap space, and let's go all in on these twilight years of Damian Lillard's career. Or would you rather see them go and bottom out and trade their mid-3 for picks and, put the eggs in the Pat Williams basket? Like, these are I think they're going to trade for Damian Lillard? No, but there's the two different directions here.
I get the gist of your question, and it's a real asshole question.
I love it, dude. I love
Sorry.
it. Sorry.
Because you know why it's an asshole question?
It's tough.
Because Bulls fans who know this ownership group know that after the Jimmy trade, they spent 4 or 5 years languishing in the let's be shitty for a while phase and hopefully develop young talent and keep getting high draft picks. And they failed to do both of those things. There are 2 primary goals when you decide to rebuild your organization. Develop the young talent that you've just brought in whilst still not winning a lot of games and adding more young talent via the draft to the young talent you have. The Bulls failed both of those things. And then they finally got rid of Garnjon, and they hire AK and Eversley, and they came in and spent the first year on the job evaluating what they inherited. Then they made big, bold moves all over the place, turned over the entire roster, save for Zach LaVine and Kobe White, and made a big, bold move to add talent because I'm pretty sure their instructions from on high, from their new bosses at their new jobs, was take this dumpster fire and turn it into something that we can at least sell some tickets for next season. Make this team mediocre, please. Because you know what's good enough for Jerry? Mediocre. Loves mediocre. So I don't appreciate that question because as a lifelong diehard Bulls fan, I know what the answer is going to be either way. Would I rather watch a mediocre Bulls team with an aging Damian Lillard on it, go to the first round maybe by some miracle, go to the conference semis? Or would I rather see them blow it up? F you. That's my answer to that question. I don't want either. I want them to build a winner and build it the right way.
Yes, that is the answer to the question. Right there. It's that simple. I see there's comments flying in. I don't want to watch a 20-win team either. I don't want to watch that. No one wants to watch that.
It was not that long ago. We remember what it's like. Right. It sucks.
I had Walt Lemon Jr. in my lineup, okay?
Like, you think watching an awful 20-win Bulls team is bad? Try covering one.
Yeah, and we've been doing it for a long time. It sucks. So with that being said, is the reason that I want to go towards kind of like Patrick Williams, right? There's a lot of people in this city that believe in that kid. They think that kid has some talent. He's got big hands. He can shoot the ball. He can run. He's strong. That's great. He's going to work out. What's up, man?
Hey, Brax.
What's up, baby?
What's up, dude?
We're live. That's why we...
Buzz is
here. I've never met you in person. What's up, baby? Let's go. Let's go, baby.
For the podcast listeners, that was Braggs running in, saying hello.
You better give him a hug.
He's giving hugs.
Hurt his feelings like that. That's ignorant.
Braggs is giving out hugs.
I get it. Buzz is here. It's exciting.
I've never met him before.
He's the man.
It's the first time they've met in person.
Okay. But I'd like to see Peck if we were to go that route now.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of talked about before we went on the air too, like the Kobe Patrick route. You just gave Kobe a 3-year contract.
Yep.
You're going to have to talk about extending Patrick Williams here soon.
Yeah.
So what am I doing here? If they're not going to win out games, then you should be doing what? You should be developing, correct?
Yeah.
We're in this weird spectrum where we're not doing either. And that's a problem. So, no, I don't want to watch a 20-win team, but I want to build towards something that can get me to the promised land. And I'm promising you now, Damian Lillard or Zach LaVine and DeMar, that's not it.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question before, I would have sold off for anything that I possibly could have, got picks, and let AK do it the right way.
Yeah.
And then shame on me if they failed.
Yeah. We've got some lively stuff going on in the chat. Shout out to Stoner Kitchen, who clearly is a PHNX viewer, hanging out watching us, saying at least a franchise that you guys have had the GOAT and rings. You want to talk about suffering? Come talk to us Suns fans. Okay, valid.
Yeah,
you guys are still trying to get that elusive chip. Straight up right now, you want to trade your roster for ours? Because while I, no offense intended, don't see the Suns as the odds-on favorite to win the chip this year, even after making the bold move to get Bradley Beal, I would rather watch Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal than the squad we got coming into this season.
I get that. I mean, at least they're going to be thought of as a contender. That bench is depleted.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that now.
They gave up everything.
They gave up everything.
They have a big three and nothing.
Right. And DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, a big four, excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you forgot about DeAndre. No, you didn't forget about him, but he's here and there. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying there. It's just, again, I don't want to watch losing basketball, Peck. I just want them to win and it to be a consistent build. You go get veterans, what's going to happen eventually? You're not going to build a dynasty. You're going to have a one-off. Right. What are we trying to do? What is your goal as a fan?
And, the thing that people are also talking about right now, aside from Dame, is Giannis's recent comments and whether or not he's going to sign that extension before the deadline about a month from, actually a month and 2 days from now is Giannis's deadline on signing that extension or not. And the fact that the Bucks have mortgaged all of their future to build this veteran core around Giannis and keep this veteran core around Giannis. We were doing our Bucks preview on yesterday's episode. We talked about them signing Middleton, aging, Brook Lopez, aging to new multi-year deals to keep that core together and appease Giannis with a championship contender. When the Giannis era is over in Milwaukee, whether it's 2 years from now or 10, they are screwed because they have used all of their assets. But what did they get? They got a championship out of it.
Sure did.
Fine. The Bulls have been waffling between mortgaging your future for the present and just not having a present since the D-Rose, Joakim, Jimmy Bulls disbanded. That's where they've been stuck, and it's infuriating. So Suns fans, misery is misery, and there are different variations of it.
At least you have someone to share it with.
Brendan in the comments asks, and this is the other interesting wrinkle, Buzz.
Okay.
Do you really think Dame will want to play for the Bulls? You already know Jimmy Butler trashing on the Bulls in the DMs with Lillard.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't have a no trade clause.
He doesn't have
a
no
trade clause. Contract.
But
it's a player league now, man.
Is he going to not play?
Nah.
I mean, if he just refuses to show up, then the Bulls will have the right to fine him for not. It's what the Sixers were doing to Ben Simmons ultimately. But they have, there have been reports that Dame's agents and representatives have gone out to other NBA teams who are maybe sniffing around because of the trade request, who aren't the Heat, saying, don't trade for Dame. He doesn't want to come there, will not come there. It's an interesting card to play. By and large, it is a bluff because unless he wants to just forfeit his salary, he has to show up.
Well, that's how you know it's full of crap from the beginning. If he doesn't play,
do you want the drama of a miserable Dame who's not happy to be in a Bulls jersey, who's not happy to be here in Chicago, on a team that maybe your ceiling, if you swap him in and Zach out, or swap him and DeMar out, is slightly raised from where it is now?
Yeah, listen, man. Like you said earlier, he's in the twilight of his career, right? That's what you had said. He wants to go to where he wants to go. He wants to play with who he wants to play with. You know why? Because Dame did the noble thing for years. I have to give credit where credit's due. Yes, This isn't a good look now, but everybody, it's so funny how people forget so quickly how loyal he has been to the Portland Trail Blazers organization, the city itself, how big of a staple he is there. I mean, he's huge there.
Has any athlete ever meant more to Portland?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Not even Clyde. Not even Clyde Drexler.
Oh, my God, dude. There you go.
It's like we have one brain.
We're one half of a whole dummy because we're Chicago sports fans. Yeah, absolutely. But no, I agree. That there's no way. I think that he is set in his ways. Again, would he forfeit $212 million? No. We both know he would not. But it would not probably be 100% effort. It'd be missed games. It would be nothing but a circus. And quite frankly, we have enough circuses around this city right now. We don't need to add another one.
We do. All right, let's take our second break. We'll come back and let's say the Bulls don't trade for Dame and they have the pieces they have. We'll get Buzz's thoughts on what the Bulls do have coming into this season. Before we hit that break, though, shout out to Lil Yumper, who threw us a $10 super chat that just said, Buzz!
Oh, what's up, Yump?
In all capital letters and exclamation points.
All right.
I think I also saw one of our regulars, Colin, in the comments saying that he was happy to see you here as well.
Oh, I love you, Colin.
Bulls Nation loves Buzz. Of course we do. That's why he's here. While we're sharing these words from our friends and sponsors, if you didn't do it the first time, here's your second chance. Hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed. Joey, are you ready for ad read number 2?
Yes, am I supposed to start? I don't know.
I'm super confident.
I'll do number 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if you saw your rundown.
Well, yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. Well, I was talking to my nephew.
Oh, your nephew, Baby Joey?
Yeah, that's not his name, but that's what Big Dave likes to call him.
Big Dave would beg to differ. Joey's nephew's name is Baby Joey.
I was talking to him, and I was doing most of the talking because, regardless of what you heard from Dave, he actually can't talk. So, but he was telling me he could say couple things. He says he never understood.
He never understood.
He never understood why sunglasses were so damn expensive, and that is why our friends at Shady Rays have set out to change that. So take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead or behind us with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that is just as good as any expensive pair that you've ever worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for your outdoor advenciones. That is a word. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. That's right, all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by the Lost and Broken Replacements Plan. So if you're Matt Pack and you've got your shades on your hat and you toss it when the Bulls can't hit a 3 in the middle of the season, and you lose or break your pair, even on day 1, Shady Rays has told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. So wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after your purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much-needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact, from building play sets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. So if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair and return them for free within 30 days. There is truly no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for our CHGO listeners, Shady Rays is going to give out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use promo code CHGO for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Shady Rays.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. I gotta love it.
I will point out that the word premium was missing when you said 2+ pairs of premium polarized shades. Is that not in
It's
the
not
ad
in the
copy?
It's not. It's
That's just something that Dave has just said.
It's an ad lib.
Here I thought the entire time that the word premium was in that ad copy because Dave has always done the Shady Rays reads.
Shady Rays are nice, man. They look good.
Right?
Look at the guest is plugging, the spot. I like
always,
it, man. Yeah, I'm telling
always.
you. Looking good.
And I have twice now put the Matt Peck Lost and Broken Replacement Plan to the test.
Oh, yeah?
Totally works.
All right.
This is pair number 4. I had 2 pairs. One of them broke, got it replaced. Then had a new pair and an old pair. Old pair broke, got it replaced. And just because I'm an idiot and I treat my sunglasses like I treat my hats, which is why they're a great deal. Affordable and replaceable. What's not replaceable? The amazing deal on watching all of your various live sports with Fubo TV. Can't get it anywhere else. 140 plus live channels of sports shows, movies, and news. You can stream them live from any device. So if your kid's watching Bluto or whatever the pig one is, or the
Peppa
Amazing
Pig and
Spider-Man.
Did you say Bluto?
You say Bluto, dude?
Bluto or whatever the big one is.
Wait, isn't that the kids show?
Bluey.
Bluey. Oh.
I'm dead.
Bluto or whatever the kids
I
one.
combined that with Pluto.
Yeah, you did.
Which is
They're both on
an
Disney
animated
Plus.
dog.
They're both on Disney Plus.
Thank you.
I got a little bit
okay,
there.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it was all right, man. It's
funny.
God damn. I'm dying.
Start watching Bluey or Bluto or live sports with a free trial from Fubo TV. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up and start watching. Plus, they have the amazing offer of 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. So if you wanted to rewatch Bears games on Mondays, Buzz, just because you're a fan of self-torture, you can store an entire Bears season worth of football on the cloud storage at no extra charge with Fubo TV. You can also watch your local teams while you're traveling on any of your devices. College football is here. Big Ten football is here. Shout out Big Ten After Dark coming up later. NFL, Bears, of course, frowny face. NFL Network, Red Zone. That's right, I said Red Zone, the greatest invention in the history of man. You can get it on Fubo TV. So, watch all of your favorite college football, NFL, whatever your sport at Fubo. Go to www.FuboTV.com/CHGO to sign up for 15% off of your first month of Fubo Pro. One more time, that's www.FuboTV.com/CHGO, and you'll get 15% off your first month.
That's true. Bluto was Popeye's adversary. It's hilarious.
Sure. See, I'm not crazy. I knew that there was some character named Bluto somewhere out there in the universe.
That's awesome.
It's just not the children's show that's currently popular that I was trying to think of.
Right. I'm a little sad that I'm an expert in children's TV, but hey.
Hey, no, that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat aware, but when I'm with my nieces, I'm like, girls, you turn those screens off. You want to, have Uncle Matt wrestle you around outside? Let's go run around outside.
There you go.
Jason in the comments said, Peck Bluey, that ad read. You know what? Well done. That's a nice burn right there. All right. So, Buzz, let's say the Bulls stay the Bulls. No Dame. None of that nonsense.
Okay.
They come into training camp and come into this season with the pieces that we have seen them retain and add. Let's start with the pieces they retained. You mentioned his name a bit ago. What are your thoughts on the Bulls bringing Vooch back on a new 3-year deal?
I like Vooch. I thought that he got more money here than he'd get anywhere else.
Correct.
Especially after last year. Not that he played horrible, Peck, because he did not.
No, he played great.
He's an aging center. A center's not the most sought-after position in the league. Yes, I understand Embiid and Jokic, unicorns. Stop.
Right, yeah.
So, I'm okay with it. I was okay with him in a rebuild situation, but coming back and trying to run this back and win, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at the whole Vooch thing. I like Vooch. It's not a needle mover for me.
And the other two pieces they retained with new contracts, the younger guys, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, touched on Kobe a little bit earlier with the whole point guard conversation. Are you glad to see both of them back in the fold?
Very guard heavy, but as you pointed out earlier, Billy Donovan run team.
We need at least 26 guards on the roster at all times.
And the Windy City Bulls have about 13 of them. Anyway, I know because I watched. But I'm happy Kobe's here. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I have not been drawn to a player like where I've actively rooted. Because I root for my team,
Right,
if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not.
Sure.
But I love Ayo.
Yeah.
I've been watching Ayo. He was in Morgan Park. He went to Illinois.
Yeah.
And then he's here in his home. That is cool. That is a fun story that anybody can get behind.
It's a great story.
I like Ayo a lot. I've had the pleasure of meeting him one time. He's a very nice guy. I'm very happy for him. So I'm glad. I guess in that sense, I'm glad he's back. But as the current construction of the roster goes, we have a little bit more of the same.
It's kind of a question now with Ayo is like, okay, the guy who took Lonzo Ball's job as a starter midway through his rookie year and then pleasantly surprised a lot of people, Bulls fans included, and then just kind of had a rocky up and down sophomore season with the Bulls that ultimately led to him losing his starting spot. Now he is back on a new deal, and you wonder where he will fit in Billy's rotation.
Yeah, it's super tough. So you had a Javon Carter from Milwaukee. You have Kobe. You have Ayo Dosunmu. You have Alex Caruso. I mean, there is a plethora of guards to choose from on this team.
Yeah.
With that being said, I don't know where Ayo fits in because his sophomore slump was just that. It was a slump, but it was a very noticeable one that people were like, wow, and he lost his job due to it. I'd love to see him come back. I think he has the tools to be a good perimeter defender in the NBA. I think he can hit the three at a good clip. I think he can be just as good or better than Javon Carter, who is a defensive guy who can hit a shot or two. Play make a little bit too. I don't really know if where Iowa's going to fall this year. I really hate to see him be out of the rotation. And that, again, and that's not because of a play standpoint. It's because of a personal standpoint.
Right, yeah.
But that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see out of the gate this season. Preseason, is right around the corner. The first few games out, where is Io in that rotation? Because now it seems the conversation has shifted from where it used to be to coming into last season. Most Bulls fans who were paying attention and knew what was what were thinking Kobe's a trade deadline candidate, for sure.
Yep.
For sure. And wow, look at what Io's doing. And now coming into this season, 1 year gone, you're like, okay, well now we're talking about Javon Carter versus Kobe White in that starting backcourt alongside Zach. So where is Io and where are those minutes coming from? Because Javon Carter, Kobe White, whichever one of them isn't starting, is probably your sixth man.
Right. Yeah, there'd be the first guard off your bench is what I was assuming, because Caruso, I think, is going to – it's positionless, right? It's where you fit and what kind of player you are. Caruso's probably going to substitute. I'm assuming Pat starts. Is it going to be Torrey Craig? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. The guard rotation is just so huge. It's very hard to pinpoint where they're going to go with it. I honestly, I don't know. But
we play four guards and Vooch, or four guards and Pat.
And the fan base clamors for Damian
dusting of Drummond. That is honestly what this season is going to be.
And everybody's going to be crying. Like, put Damian Terry in, man. Give him a chance. And we're going to be sitting there the whole time like, great, here we go. Just run it back. Run it back.
Joshua in the comments asking, Io signed a 3-year deal as a younger player. I wonder if he got a promise that he'll be a part of the rotation. I don't think so. I mean, I really don't think so. I don't think really, unless you are a specific kind of vet in the NBA, you come in with a promise of what your role is going to be.
Or you're Chandler Hutchinson and the Bulls promise that they will draft you if
you're bringing up
okay,
bad
you know
stuff.
what, Joey? That thought entered my head when we were reading a comment from a viewer about the word promise and Bulls and promising things. And you know what I did? I kicked it out of my head because it doesn't belong there.
No, it doesn't.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
I don't think he's in the league anymore. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to make a joke at your expense. Anyway, like when I look at Io, Peck, I feel like if he comes out and he's aggressive, he'll have a place in the lineup. But you have to be realistic about it, man. He's a second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Second-round draft pick, so he didn't get the 4 years, with the 2 team options on the end of that.
Right.
He got
it was just a 2-year
It was a 2-year
second-round deal.
Exactly. So I would highly doubt after his sophomore slump that the Bulls promised him any sort of playing time, that he was sought after somewhere else.
Right.
If he was, I'm sure he would have went because I'm not going to lie, I'd follow the money too and the playing time.
Yeah.
But he stayed home. So I don't know how big the market was for him. And that's not as an insult. He's a great, I think he's a good young kid, and I think he has the potential to be a very good player in the league. A rotational player in the league, maybe even more. But, yeah, I don't think he was promising.
I don't think a slump of a second season is something that we immediately have to lose the optimism that Io earned from us as a rookie.
Right.
Handles need some work. You mentioned the outside shot was not at all consistent last year. Become a more reliable threat behind the three-point line for this team that is trying desperately to get out of the basement of NBA three-point shooting. Prove that, and guess what? You might earn minutes.
Absolutely.
If you are one of the 8 trillion guards on this roster and your name isn't Alex Caruso, first team all defense, if you can't knock down a 3, you don't see the floor.
I agree.
In today's NBA, plain and simple, them's the rules.
They have to shoot threes to win. It's how the league is built. It's so fun. I love that you say that because, again, I feel like there's a lot of people that agree with that, of course, but I'm going to throw an old head in there, people that I talk to all the time. Sorry, Dad, you're an old head. But, it's like, oh, man, you drive the basket, the lane. No, that's not the game anymore, man. That is not the game. What is more, 3 or 2? And that is what everybody else is playing. And
I'm no mathematician.
Right. But you look at the dynasty that has ruled us for the last almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
And what do, Matt? What do? They shoot threes. Bulls don't shoot threes. So that's why we're a fringe playing team.
I mean, they're efficient with those threes that they knock down, right?
They are.
Good for them.
Just need
Shoot more of them.
Just need more of them.
We got to give 2 more quick shout-outs. We'll come back, wrap up by getting Buzz's thoughts, expectations, and predictions-wise for this Bulls team that we have right around the corner. Bulls basketball is so soon. In the meantime, grab yourself some amazing Chicago sports gear from FOCO, our friends. Get fitted out with the best sports gear around. Second only, of course, to our own CHGO merch locker. Rocking the dope CHGO black tee today. Hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, everything in between, you can find it at FOCO. It's football season, so whether you're tailgating, whether you're going out to the bar and weather gets a little chillier, you want another layer, or you're going to the game, bless your heart. When's the Bears' next home game? I know they're in KC this week.
Yeah, they're in KC this week, and I think they come home.
Back versus the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos, yep. October something. What is
Yeah,
it?
right at the first weekend of October.
Yep.
If you're brave enough to go, layer up with some dope Bears gear from FOCO. Shout out to them for also providing us with some of our cool set decorations here in our CHGO studios. They've shown us some love. Show them some love, and they'll show it right back to you in the form of a 10% discount when you use the promo code CHGO at checkout at FOCO.com. Click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Again, that's promo code CHGO for 10% off.
Another good one, man. You guys kill it out here.
Well, Matt, I'm
Gotta give the
excited
people what
here.
they want. Discount codes, Buzz. It's all about them discount codes.
That's what I'm talking
It's
about,
been an honor here to fill in on some of the Dave ad reads, but we're not done yet because
got
we
one more,
still
Joe.
have
Bring it
one
home
of
with
my
gusto.
absolute favorite sponsors that we are partnered with, and that is Pins and Aces.
Love them.
Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel partner of ALLCITY and of CHGO. We absolutely love our Pins and Aces gear. And we get tons and tons and tons of compliments on it, both on and off the course. I mean, I am a horrendous golfer, so when I'm on the course, that's really all I'm getting compliments on.
I'm never even on the course.
We were
I
at the
just get compliments when I
CHGO.
get not on the course.
We were at the CHGO golf outing. I was with Stuckey and our buddy Matt Shasby, who's our fourth guy and one of Stuckey's friends, and he was very good, and I was struggling, and he was coaching me a lot, so he had to coach me up. But the one thing he kept saying was, you look great. That Pins and Aces really does. That's some cool gear that you got.
Half the battle, man.
Yeah,
Looking
it really
good
did.
on the golf course.
It helped my self-esteem a lot. Finished strong out there. So Pins and Aces, family-owned golf and apparel business. They make unbelievable, amazing polos, hats, golf bags, even our own Matt Peck's personal favorite, the beer sleeve, an innovative product that allows you to store not one, not two, not three, not four, 7 beers right inside your golf bag and keep drinks cold for your entire round. So check out pinsandaces.com and use the code CHGO to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
I love that. What an invention. A beer sleeve that fits in your golf bag.
That's huge, man. If I had a golf bag, I'd have it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would.
You can also get the beer sleeve without having a golf bag and being a golfer.
I might do it, man.
Just a convenient thing to, keep in the trunk.
Might have to do it.
Bring it camping with you.
I'd love to.
All right, Buzz. So 40 and 42 last year.
Yeah.
Play in game 1, win. Play in game 2, loss. Season over.
Right.
Returning mostly the same squad. Hashtag continuity. You add in Carter. You add in Craig. Do you see a realistic path, assuming, knock on wood, health, assuming the Bulls scrape together more wins in the clutch game variety, assuming they don't give away as many games as they did last year to inferior opponents? Do you see them in any possible way going back to something more resembling a 46 or 47 win team that narrowly avoids the play-in compared to the disappointing 40 and 42 of last year?
I don't think we have any reason to. I don't think they showed us anything to show that. I don't think the Javon Carter signing nor the Torrey Craig signing are going to be big, super huge factors. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that their ceiling is going to be what? The 6th seed? The 7th seed, maybe?
That's six
I think
seed
six
is
seed
my
is optimistic.
I think 6 seed is my absolute ceiling right now.
That's your best.
That's how I feel.
That's your best.
That's absolute ceiling.
So my worst is 10, so you're not in the play-in at all. Because they almost didn't get there.
They were real close to losing the play-in, missing out on the play-in entirely.
That's what I mean. So, like, the 2 moves that were made, and then they're going to, again, a Javon Carter and a Torrey Craig are good on teams that are winning. Mm-hmm. They're good on teams with with superstars. They are good role players for those squads.
Yeah.
The Bulls, they're too inconsistent. Like, that's not a plug-and-play thing.
Right.
It's just not. So, again, if you're going to ask me right now, you know, I have to choose. I see them being maybe the 9 seed and them somehow sneaking into this to this play-in. You know, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like they sneak in.
Yeah.
That is my best thing. I don't, my best is a 6 seed, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be a play-in team.
I mean, I think that is a realistic, if not optimistic, way of looking at things coming into this season. So last question, and then we'll wrap up. Assuming the Bulls are somewhere in the clinging to 9th or 10th in the play-in picture, or not even that.
Okay.
Because as we've discussed on a couple of our recent episodes, the first 25 games of their schedule is an absolute gauntlet. It's brutal. You play the Bucks a zillion times. You play the Heat a zillion times. You play the defending champion Nuggets twice. Like, it's brutal.
It's hard.
If the Bulls are slowly approaching that trade deadline, and they are in the bottom third of the East, after our discussion about mediocre or blow it up to start over, what would you like to see them do if that's where they are?
Oh, I'm becoming Billy Mays. I'm sell. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I'm selling, dude. I ain't playing around. What are we doing? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's going to be the same thing over and over again, man. You know, and it comes. That's what I would do. If we get to the trade deadline, Peck, and we are in a bad shape, and yes, I say we because I love them.
Yes.
So I say we.
Oh, it's a we.
Yeah, it's a we. If they're in bad shape, you got to sell it off. You got to try to get assets where you can.
Yeah.
Recoup picks where you can. Maybe if you're able to somehow get a talent that is young with potential that you should actually take the time to try and develop, do it. Because this team is not a championship team currently constructed, and I don't know seriously, who are they going to add to make it one?
Yeah.
They can't right now. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I think I'm right there with you.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Don't be sorry for speaking truths. That's why we do what we do.
Right.
Speak truths, and hopefully most people out there in Bulls Nation appreciate truth, even when they aren't pretty ones.
Right.
Sadly, that is it. We are out of time. Buzz, legit, man, like always a pleasure.
I love you, brother. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Love right back at you. Tell the people out there in Bulls Nation, in case they don't already know because they're sleeping under a rock, where they can find all of your great content at the On Tap Sportsnet.
You go to ontapsportsnet.com. I cover the Bulls over there. A little bit of White Sox, more focused on the Bulls because it's hard to kind of cover two at one time. You follow me on X or Twitter at BuzzOnTap, and we are, after every single Bulls game, we're usually live shortly after. So if you ever want to check that out, you're more than welcome to.
Part of the Bulls Content fam. Pleasure to have him in studio. Buzz on tap. That's going to do it for us today. It's going to do it for us this week. Our guy, Wildigo Gottlieb, and Mark K have a Bulls HQ episode for you guys tomorrow to lead you into your weekend, 5:30 Central Time. Keep an eye out for that. Have a great weekend. Everybody cross your fingers and hope that, Kansas City isn't a giant disaster. Make sure you're tuning in to all of our CHGO Bears coverage all weekend long to get you ready for Bears-Chiefs kickoff Sunday, 3:25. For our pal producer, Joey Spathis, a.k.a. Joey Ad Reads today.
Yup.
One more. And my good buddy Buzz over here, I'm Peck. You can follow me, Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Much love as always, Bulls Nation. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the thumb on your way out if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time. See you, Red. Be good.